Hell yeah.
With what?
35.
Well, just find it in order.
Did you put it find
You can do that too.
Yeah, I found that too.
Oh, we have a study book. Find them, Jam.
Regulation.
Yay.
Dude,
And I get to put my notes in. Yay.
I have it. I have 40s.
What do you have?
I'm gonna find it
Your
right after
learning
this.
style is so different.
Or should be over here. That's all I hear come out of her mouth is like some gibberish, but things.
And then it doesn't help when you want to sit with people that like you don't really like.
And then it's like you ask for help from like Mr. Footbugs, and like he's showing you
I don't have
another
to.
way, and I'm like,
Bro, anyways,
what are we talking about here?
Mr. Brand, how are you doing today?
Wonderful. So would you like Mr. Flynnbugs to show you the same way though?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because Miss Sutter teaches.
Because like when teachers teach it one way, and then you ask the other teacher to help, and they show you a different way, it makes it more confusing for me.
See, sometimes though it helps, so it doesn't hurt.
This starts my savior.
And then you just end up finding your own way to understand it.
Which is probably the best way.
Yeah.
To find your own way to understand it. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I did return your test to you this morning. So you could take out your computers. You could look at your tests from yesterday. Before we get going today, I did ask you, I think, this question before, but I will ask you it again. What advice do you have for me for future classes? What did you like? What didn't you like? Things like that.
I have one right up. I think for future classes, I think you're doing a great job.
Okay, don't sugarcoat it, because I'm not asking you to blow smoke up my butt here. I'm asking you to give me your honest
I'm being
opinion.
for real. I've never lied. I've never lied to you.
I understand, but you don't need to go through all that. What do you think you would like to see me change? You'd like to see me do differently? Things that you like that you think I should continue?
I think that you could include more into your lesson.
What do you mean by include more
Like
into
more-
my lesson?
More material, because I felt like some stuff was left out.
Okay.
Like what?
Do you have an example or?
Kind of like expanding on the units, like the nuclear unit.
Okay.
Like there's so much more stuff that we could have like learned about.
Oh, definitely. I took a course in college that was all on nuclear chemistry. We did 3 weeks of it. Yeah, you're right. You're not getting everything in. So, but again, there's another part that we didn't get into for redox, which is electrochemistry, where basically looking at batteries and how they generate electrical voltage and things like that. But again, time is always an issue. You guys were actually lucky because you guys had, I believe, 5 or 6 more days than students did in the second try to complete this unit or this trimester. Because for some reason, our third try is always longer than the others because of just the way the calendar falls. Next year, it won't be that way, but it is a little different. Okay, so include more stuff. Okay, anybody else?
I like how the way you communicate with kids. Like
You mean being sarcastic and mean to them?
Yes.
Okay.
And just being there when, like, in the morning. Like, you have that flexibility of being here in the morning or after school. Not many teachers have that, and it's hard for kids to get stuff done.
I agree.
Just from my personal perspective.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
I love the question of the day. I like it.
Well, which ones do you like? Or do you like the variety of them? Because sometimes we do them as a true review of like what we did the day before. Some of them are, more humorous or
Yeah.
just get to know you things. I've had some clunkers, you got to admit. There have been, but you never know. But you like the question of the day thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like how it's a mix that on the can. Like, you have different ones. If it's not about the unit that we're doing, it's about something fun.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
What I like is where you like put history and like chemistry together with that radioactive unit. I got really into it. So.
Okay.
What you
Okay.
should do for your finals is like, not finals, but for like your review game, like put all like the whole trimester in one.
Yeah, I know you had said that, Zoe, and I guess I can look at that.
So yeah, one review game instead of multiple.
Right, but I believe also that the advantage of multiple is this. I think that as a student, you should know what you're kind of good at and what you're not. And if you put all the units together, there's a lot of material there, and you could spend a lot of time and not get to questions about things you don't know. Versus, okay, I struggled on the food unit, so maybe I'm going to spend a little bit more time reviewing on those. But I will take that into account, Zoe, and I will see if I can combine. I don't remember how hard Quizlets are to combine. As far as like maybe taking one and copying it together with another or things like that. I got it. I'm halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
Alexa's coming.
His face looks disappointed.
It's definitely.
Ooh, who sings that?
I just said.
Who?
Definitely.
Boy, you are wrong.
I swear to God.
No, don't put your phone
No,
away.
it's Journey. It's Journey. It's Journey.
Oh my God, he's 0 for 2.
Stop.
Someone living on a prayer?
Oh, Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, you should let him as well because he does it much better than you. Okay?
3 for
I'm disappointed
3.
also, bro. I'm sorry.
Actually, he was 1 for 3. Batting .333 gets him thrown out of most competitive events.
I can't imagine him in tennis with the brain. That's gonna be funny.
Whoa! Watch it there. Watch it there.
What are we watching?
I'm team captain. Okay.
I question that team captain.
Yeah, who voted that in?
Who did? No one did.
My team.
How many people are on your team?
The best on the not good team.
Whoa!
Hey,
I'm the best.
I coached girls basketball here for years. We did not have good teams. I was the first one who knew that.
I'm the best on the tennis team.
Okay,
You're so good.
so if you're the best on the tennis team, how does that put you compared to others in the conference, in the state? Because again, if you're the best person on a really bad team, I've coached sports here a long time. I'm not putting you down. I'm not.
I get
But I think sometimes our athletes believe that, well, I'm the best on this team, so I'm good. That is not the case, because over the years that I coached girls basketball, my best player on a team would probably not start on any other team in our conference. So, and that's being honest. And I had really great kids. I had kids who I'm still friends with. Okay. And that is great. But again, in all the time I coached, I only had one player who I would really consider an outstanding player. So.
How many years did you coach here?
9. 9 as a varsity coach, 3 as a freshman coach. So.
Would you do it again?
Would I do it again if I were young and stupid? Yes. So.
That's me.
Am I glad that I didn't do it this year for the first time in a long time? Yes. So.
We just read this year instead.
Yeah, I reffed instead this year.
Would you do it next year?
Would I coach?
But you like basketball.
I do. But it would have to be something extraordinary to get me to come back and coach.
Would you get money for coaching?
You do, but not near enough for the hours you put in. So.
Principal of the school raises for everybody.
Not the principal's option.
What? No, school board. School board.
That is a great thought, but unfortunately, there's only so much they can do as well. They do need to up the money that they give people who come out and work the games. The workers need to get a raise because they've been working at the same salary for a long time.
At least 6 years.
And that's the people who are doing the tickets and doing the supervising and things like that. So those people come and put in a lot of hours for not a lot of time, not a lot of money.
How much do they make, or does it depend on what they do?
No, it's all the same rate, and I think it's like,
$13 an hour.
what is it?
13.
Yeah, $13 an hour.
Before they raised it to 13, it was 12, and then for like
And
20 years, it was 10.
and remember, they still take taxes out of that.
Yeah.
So they make less to come in and take the tickets at a game than they probably could to go to McDonald's and work behind the counter at McDonald's.
Oh, do you know Panda Express is hiring line cooks for $17 an hour?
Yeah.
I want to put you guys on this game. Go to Panda Express.
Type shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know-
I make less coming in work for an event than it costs me in gas to get here. Which is why
And I will tell you, I never in all the years I've lived in Green Bay, which have been a bunch, I've never seen a billboard that Procter and Gamble hiring for $27 to $30 an hour, and yet they still can't find people who want to take that job. So
And then you get all these fast food that are making like $17 to $18 an hour.
And then you have to raise their prices because they have to pay their employees.
correct. There's a reason why it's now $10 or $12 for a meal at a fast food restaurant. So.
It's not inflation.
And the worst part is, you go into many of them, and now they're making you do things that they used to do for you. Self checkouts, they used to check you out. Kiosks to order your food. You're now doing things that they used to do for you. But
Sorry, but that whole sentence was so stupid.
first of all, you should not be allowed to use a kiosk or a self check unless you know what the heck you're doing. Okay? Because when you're in there at the self-check and you're like, how do I scan this? Get out, go to an aisle where you got to wait in line and get out of my way. So
Do you use the self-checkouts?
I use them, yeah.
When I worked at McDonald's, and we first got the kiosks, they were like, "How do I use this?" I'm like, at this point, just come up to the freaking cashier and order your food. Like,
They still have them. I would rather go up to
In some they don't. In some they don't have the cashier, do they? You have to use the kiosk, don't you, or no? It's been a long time since I've eaten inside a McDonald's and ordered inside.
At Burger King, they're trying this whole new AI thing where you don't even talk to a cashier. You talk to a bot.
You okay, Zoe?
Yeah, that's it.
You talk to a bot.
Okay.
Which
Wild.
which one?
Okay.
Which Burger King?
It's the one by Big Beach, I think.
They're trying. The thing is, they try these out at different areas and things, and it's like I don't know if I could ever get into a taxi with no driver
Oh, that's creepy.
no, that's scary.
and go sit in the back seat and have it drive you to where you want to go.
When I went to New York, there was like, we went to the Taco Bell, and there was like alcohol in the Taco Bell. And I looked at it, I'm like, am I tripping, or is there actually like? I was so lost, and then I asked my sister, she's like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "What the hell? At Taco Bell?" Like,
It's a restaurant just like any other.
I mean, yeah, but like, it's a fast food restaurant.
I know that's a little bit shocking. I remember when COVID hit, there were restaurants in Green Bay because you couldn't go in. You would order from them and you'd drive up. They would bring you out drinks to your car while you were waiting. So, well, they had all the alcohol. They had the bartenders. So like you would pull up. They'd be like, okay, they'd take your order and they'd be like, all right, do you want a drink? And they'd bring you out a drink to your car.
Nice.
We have curbside at my work, and when you do curbside, you're supposed to call the store and let us know you're there.
Yeah.
We have nothing else to let us know, and they'll come in. They'll be like, "I've been waiting outside for how long?" I was like, "Ma'am, you're supposed to call us to let us know you're here. Like, how am I supposed to know?"
That's what the sign says there that you're supposed to call.
It's like you take the without that's what, and it's like people that could come in and walk in and get it themselves, and they just don't want to. And I'm like, okay, I could understand if you're like an older person, or if you're like a mom and you have a kid sleeping in the back seat or something. But if you're a full teenager, come on, get out of the car and get your food.
Like you're the one eating.
And you're yelling about teenagers, Jocelyn.
And we are one.
I agree with you.
I'm not going to curbsides and be like.
But there are also people who, since COVID, there are people who do not want to be around other people at all.
I mean,
At all.
But I still come around people.
I know. So, well, we did a nice distraction there. Did you have any other advice for me, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, stop screaming good morning.
That's not going to
It
happen.
kinda-
That is advice, but I'm not going to take that one. Sorry, Jocelyn.
Yeah. Good. That's only a Mr. Brand thing that he can do. I can't do that.
Well, I still have students who, when I see them later on, do you still every morning? Yep, every morning. Yep. And if anything, it'll be the one thing you remember about me 20 years from now.
Yep.
So-
We're gonna see him at a store.
So you're going to see me in a store, you're like, oh my God, there's a guy who used to yell at us every morning, every afternoon.
He's gonna be walking down the sidewalk.
Hey, what are you doing this? What does this mean? What? You saying I need a walker or?
That's gonna be you in like 20 years, Mr. Brand.
Nope.
Walking down the sidewalk with your wife in one hand, your cane in the other. Walking down oh, that's the teacher. That's just good morning, kids.
Good morning, children.
So.
You just screamed it out my shoulder.
All right. Couple of things I would like to go over with you. Couple of things I want to show you, and then we'll give you some time to basically get ready for your test any way you see fit, ladies and gentlemen. The other thing we're going to do today is I can bring you up to my desk. I will put a 0 in for your final exam, meaning I'll show you the lowest grade that you can get in the class. And then from there, I could tell you what you would need to get on the final to get back to, say, a B or a C or something like that. So we'll do that, but I'll bring you up individually for that, okay? Be on time. If you are 15 minutes late for your final, I will not let you in, which means you will have to schedule and come see me in the afternoon makeup times, okay? So be on time, be ready to go, okay? Bring a charged computer. The desks are going to be spread out again. I only have a few chargers. Bring a charged computer with you. Bring your cheat sheets. Now, again, just so that we are all clear, you may have accumulated many cheat sheets over the course of the trimester. You can use one that looks like this, one that looks like this with whatever you want written on them. Okay? You may also use a sheet of paper. Now, I have paper up on the front that is unlined. I have paper up here that is lined. You can use whichever, but every time I give this one to a student, well, you know, with the holes, I could have wrote 2 more words. Whatever. Okay? If you want, there's the unlined paper that has no holes in it. Okay? So, again, bring that with you. I will have like scratch paper out for you in case you need to do some simple calculating what the charge is on something or things like that. But when you guys are working on things today, I will double check. There might be some stuff you need a calculator for. Going back to the food unit where we calculated the calories in food as they burned, things like that. Okay? So, again, those things. Also, bring something to do if you finish early. Okay? Now, you guys are the first final. You will have other finals to possibly work on or to study for. A book to read if you want to take it easy and take a rest. I don't care. But again, it needs to stay quiet until everyone is finished with
This
their
is my
finals.
only final on Thursday.
Okay? So that's a
my
good
third
thing.
hour and my 5th hour are basically school off.
Okay? What's your third hour?
Academic lab, and
Okay.
then my 4th hour is art, which we have
Oh,
nothing. I did
fifth
everything.
hour.
We're going 5th hour.
Fifth hour.
My art class, which I did everything for, and I printed everything.
Okay. Okay.
It makes me feel a lot.
I do have a list of the topics for you for the final exam, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I broke it down by unit. So going back all the way to the food unit, ladies and gentlemen, and remember the food unit was not only about food, but it was about energy. So kinetic and potential energy. What are the variables that affect kinetic energy? In other words, how heavy something is or its mass and how fast it's moving, as opposed to potential, which is based on its mass and how high above the ground it is. Okay. We talked about types of energy. So there was mechanical, there was chemical, there was electromagnetic, there was nuclear, there was thermal, all of those different kinds of energy again. Okay. We talked about measuring calories, what variables are used to measure the energy in food. And again, for those variables, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about how much the energy will heat up water. So the mass of water times the change in temp gives you the calories. Okay. If we have more water, will it, with the same amount of energy, will it change in temp go up or go down? Those kind of things. What variables determine the calories we burn? Now that was specifically how much you weigh, what type of exercise you do, and how long you do the exercise for. And again, the longer you do an exercise, the more calories you're going to burn. The more you weigh, the more calories you are going to burn. The more strenuous the activity, the more calories you are going to burn. Then we got into the three main types of or parts of food: carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. So again, knowing what each one is. Now remember, when we talked about carbohydrates, there was a monosaccharide, a disaccharide, and a polysaccharide. You should know what all those mean. You should know what a monounsaturated or an unsaturated fat, a monounsaturated fat, and a polyunsaturated fat are. Okay? What was that?
Many, 2, and 1.
Many for poly, di is 2, mono is 1. Saturated means you're holding at the max. Unsaturated means you are below your maximum. Okay? So all those different terms again, ladies and gentlemen. Proteins. What goes into a protein? What are proteins used for? By the way, carbohydrates, energy store, energy supply. Lipids, energy storage. Proteins, building blocks in the body. Okay? And then we talked about vitamins and minerals. And we talked about some of these vocabularies: malnourished and undernourished. We didn't get into catalyst and inhibitor, so that will not be on your test. Okay? Will not be on your test. Then we got into Unit 6. Unit 6 was on air. That was a lot of relationships, ladies and gentlemen. Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law. What variables are involved? Remember, the 4 variables that affect the gas are pressure, temperature, amount of gas, and the volume of the gas. Okay? So which 2 variables are involved in Boyle's law, and Charles' law, and Gay-Lussac's law? We went through all those. What is temperature? Temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of matter. Well, remember, kinetic energy depends on mass and velocity. What can you change about the gas particles in the air? Can you change their mass or can you change their velocity? Which one? The tiny gas particles that are making up the air we breathe. Can you change their mass or can you change how fast they are moving? You can only change how fast they are moving. Even the particles in this desk, we cannot change their mass. That is set. What we can change is how fast they are moving. And if we make them move faster, what will happen to the temperature? It will go up. If we make them move slower, it will go down. Today, these particles are moving a lot faster than they were 2 days ago because, man, it's been warm in the building the last 2 days. Okay? It's been warm in the building the last 2 days. So the particles in everything in this room are moving faster than they were 2 or 3 days ago, simply because it's gotten hotter. Okay? So again, knowing those gas laws, knowing all those relationships. Again, relationships have been something that we've been talking about all year long. Is it an inverse relationship? One variable increasing, the other one going down. Is it a direct relationship? Both variables going up, both variables going down. Is it constant, meaning does it give us a straight line? Or is it a non-constant, meaning it's a curved line? All of those things. Again, good to know, good to put on your sheet, good to have in your notes for you. The nuclear unit. Okay, again, we talked about atomic structure. Specifically in the nuclear unit, we didn't worry as much about electrons as we did about protons and neutrons. You're going to look at a nuclear symbol, the one that has the symbol with the number in front on the top and on the bottom. Do you know what the number on top means? Do you know what the number on the bottom means? If you know that the number on top is the mass number, do you know what the mass number actually is made up of? Those are the type of things you have to be ready for, ladies and gentlemen. What is an isotope? What is radioactivity? What is nuclear decay? What is a photon and a quantum? We talked about electromagnetic radiation, this spectrum up here, where we go from radio and TV waves all the way to gamma rays. Which of those is dangerous to us? Which of those is not? Which of those has a long wavelength? Which of those has a short? Which of those has high energy, high frequency, low energy, low frequency? We talked about alpha, beta, and gamma radiation. Okay? So what happens during an alpha decay? What happens to the nucleus of an atom? What happens during beta decay? What happens during gamma decay? What is ionizing radiation? Ionizing radiation is radiation that is harmful to you. Non-ionizing radiation is radiation that is not. We do not believe microwaves, radio waves, and visible light are harmful to us. They're non-ionizing radiation. Okay? We talked about nuclear reactions. What happens during alpha, beta, and gamma decay? What happens to the atomic number? What happens to the mass number? And then we talked about radiation exposure. Ways to limit the effects, the health effects of, and of course we talked about half-life. Okay? Unit 8, we broke it up into 3 sections. Periodic table and properties, oxidation and reduction, and then acids and bases. Okay? Now here's what I will tell you. Your final exam is all multiple choice or matching. Okay?
Oh my god, you are amazing.
Well, of course. But anyway, so you don't have to, do the short answer things that we've been doing on the test. You have access to every one of your tests. Go back and look at it. The similar questions to what is on the test are going to be on your final exam. Okay? Similar questions to the test are going to be on your final exam. Now, again, when you get to your test and the first question is, tell how oxidation and reduction are different, I won't ask you that as a you tell me, but I will say something like oxidation and reduction are similar properties, opposite properties, no relationship between the properties, things like that. So I could turn a lot of things into multiple choice questions. Okay? So that is there's the list of the things for you. Okay? Along with that, ladies and gentlemen, in the Google Classroom, in the stream, you can go back and you can find the Quizlet for the entire nuclear unit. The Quizlet to review for Quiz 2. The Quizlet to review for Quiz 1. Okay? All of these things are still out there for you to use, ladies and gentlemen. The master EISNs are still out there if you want to double check something before you put it down onto a periodic table or a cheat sheet. It is all out there for you, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is look for it. But everything is still in Google Classroom for you. Okay? Questions? Again, if you need a piece of scratch paper, it is right here. If you need a piece of lined paper, it is right here. If you need a new periodic table or a new solubility chart, I will put those up here as well, just so that you have access to them. I'll be calling you up one at a time, showing you your current grade, showing you what you need to get on the final to get a certain grade. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the time is yours to use as you see fit. So, questions?
Mr. Rand,
Yes.
can I go to the library?
Can you
This
go?
charger does not work, and it's been making me mad.
Okay.
I was just wondering if I could see if they can give me a new one.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
No, you may not.
No, you can't. Sorry. Okay. All right. I'll be calling you up one at a time. If you have questions other than that, please let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, get yourself as ready as you can for your final tomorrow. All righty.
Has the pen on?
Yep, I will take care of it. Hang on one second. Okay, it's approved. Sure.
I think I got that.